way to do it, or just whatever you're comfortable with, honestly. All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 12 of DeFi Talks. Today I'm here with a very special guest, Jeff. You are doing barbershop talks, and you are also involved in the media space. I know you do a lot of motivational stuff. Am I correct here?
That's right.
I think that's where I first saw you, and it was completely outside of all this crypto stuff. I've seen you on social media a long time ago. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because I know you do motivational speaking, right?
Yeah.
So that resonates with a lot of young men, especially on YouTube. A lot of people need to hear those talks because if you go on social media online, there's a lot of negativity, and I really appreciate what you do, and that's why I wanted to have you on the podcast. So for the people that don't know, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Noel. I am a professor at Florida Memorial University, South Florida's only HBCU. Also founder of Barbershop Speaks. We engage in intelligent discussions inside barbershops and beauty salons, and I know we'll speak about that much later. As you mentioned, I am a orator. I enjoy speaking. That's my passion. That's where my heart is, and essentially speaking, mixing motivation and education, because at the end of the day, if someone is motivated but they're not educated, they're going to run 100 miles per hour in the wrong direction. And so giving people the tools that they need in order for them to have the right direction, but then the motivation they need to actually walk and run in that direction as well. In addition to being a public speaker, I am a 3-time published author. I wrote 3 books. My first book is called Powerful Presenting: How to Overcome One of the Nation's Greatest Fears. I wrote that book because most people are either terrified of speaking on stage, which is most people, but also if you're not afraid to speak on stage, a good portion of those people don't speak in public effectively.
Yes.
And so
I can really tell the difference between somebody who is like a good speaker and someone that's just a speaker, right?
Exactly.
Like a good speaker, they have you focused.
Yeah, exactly.
And you hear every word and you're following them, and there's a lot of people that sometimes I would assume they wouldn't be good speakers, and then I hear them speak and I'm completely captivated and motivated. So I want to just barbershop talks, right? That's
Barbershop Speaks.
Okay, Barbershop Speaks. I don't want to get it wrong. So first of all, explain to people what it is, because I know, but then they might not. Yeah. And also, like, what was the idea behind that? How did you start that?
Yeah. If you think about it, the barbershop is a very unique place in the community because it's extremely diverse. When I say diverse, I'm not only talking about race, but the barbershop is diverse because there's a lot of different opinions. You could be a Republican sitting next to someone who's a Democrat. You could be 80 years old sitting next to someone who's 18. You could make $30,000 sitting next to someone who makes $300,000. It doesn't matter. The barbershop doesn't discriminate against anyone coming in as long as you are coming for a haircut. And inside the barbershops, it's mostly known for not only getting a haircut, but it's also the vibrant conversations that happens there, the community that is built, the knowledge that is shared, even the mentorship that barbers give to the kids in their chair, and even adults in their chair. Like, barbers can be mental health therapists, barbers can be tutors, the whole nine. And so the barbershop has a very unique place in society. And I was thinking about how can I connect with people on a deeper level and have conversations that matter. And I didn't really see a lot of spaces in the community where people were doing that specific thing. And I came up with the idea of Barbershop Speaks. One day I was in a barbershop and there were 2 people debating on who's better, LeBron James or Stephen Curry. And I'm like, let's stop the madness. We know who's better. Like, let's stop this right now. LeBron James is clearly better. But I was like, what would happen if we have the same passionate conversations, but about things that actually affect us day to day? And that's essentially what sparked Barbershop Speaks in many ways, is sort of that question, the question of what would happen if we have intelligent discussions instead of frivolous conversations. How much impact would it make? How many more people will get connected? How many more opportunities will people have when you bring folks in the room who know what they're talking about, who are experts in particular fields. And that's essentially how it came about.
One of the things that makes me want to have this conversation so much and that motivated me to speak to you today is just, I feel like you've uncovered a gem of like really profound content.
Yeah.
Because in our modern world, having a conversation without a phone in your hand, without distractions, is very rare. Everything's always so fast. You're always moving from one place to another. Or you have your conversations online where so much of the nuance and the depth gets lost. So I remember being a kid and like growing up and going to my barbershop every week and maintaining such a great relationship with them. I felt like they were my friend. I felt like the people there were always like, it's a cultural place with a lot of different events happening, and I really see the value in what you're doing. I hope that it continues to succeed and that you continue to like find people that are willing to do this, because it could be life changing. One of the most popular TikTokers that I've watched right now and on YouTube Reels as well, he just like walks around with a haircut toolkit and a chair, and he asks people to just sit down and have, because you get them to sit down for 30 minutes, you can really talk to them. So rare. I'm glad to see you take that into effect. So one thing I wanted to maybe ask, because I think you might know this better than most, how do you deal with like the online world, right? You're making content, you're posting stuff. Sometimes it could feel like a full-time job plus some, because it never goes, it's always on your phone. How do you keep that under control?
It's difficult because I prefer in real life experiences, and this crypto space that, that's what we're in right now. Although people say they love in real life, like a lot of it is mostly digital. But it's hard because I like social media as a tool, but it's not, to me, like social media is not like the place where I'm gonna go to express myself fully, right? Like people who, like, you probably know more about me and then someone who's known me on social media for the past 3-5 years, right? So I love the intimate conversations face to face, and it's difficult, especially with so many mediums online that you have to use to communicate. It's hard for me because there's Discord, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Facebook. Some people still use Snapchat.
It almost sometimes feels like this never-ending mountain of like people that you can talk to.
There's
and things
Messenger, there's WhatsApp. It's never ending, and then you have emails to check, and it can get very overwhelming. And I'll be honest, I get overwhelmed by a lot of it, and I'm not, like, I consider myself to be an introvert or ambivert, really. And I know by the time I get home, I'm going to be drained because I don't really get a lot of energy from communicating and talking to people, believe it or not. Although I enjoy doing it, that's not where I get a lot of energy. That's not where I get restored or refreshed. And social media sort of forces you to be extroverted, but in some ways is both and, because you could post on social media and engage with people on social media but never actually meet them. So in some ways you're like away from the social pressure.
Yeah, I see. It's a whole new world in my opinion. Like social media for me, I prefer being by myself. So I really had to work hard to break myself out of that, right? Like I just I'm a programmer. I take my computer, I sit in a corner for 8 hours a day, my eyes hurt, I get angry, I go to sleep. Talking to people, like, while it drains me momentarily, it gives my life meaning and allows me to have that like long-term energy, right? Where I actually feel better about things now because I've talked to people. I know they're not scary or trying to be out for me. Everybody's trying to support me. I'm trying to support everybody. There's a lot of value there. So it's good to take advantage of it regardless of where you are, right, socially, how you feel about socializing. I know I'm really trying to be cognizant of your time. I know like you're in a rush, and I'm really grateful you did this. Thank you so much. Maybe we can end on one thing. So out of everything, all the conversations that we've had, I noticed that you are very good at like speaking, right? You captivate people. You're very positive and upbeat no matter how the mood in the room is. And what's the secret to like staying on top of that?
Only speak about things that you care about. If you don't care, don't speak about it. Don't build a life around it, because people can tell if you are truly passionate or if you're trying to jump on the trend or if you're just trying to do something for nefarious purposes. And that's been my secret sauce, if you will, in public speaking, in conversing with people. You know, sometimes it could be difficult to say no, or it could be difficult to not give people the answer that they want you to give them. But you have to know what your values are, know what you're passionate about, know your desires, know what's best for you today, know what's best for those around you, know what's best for those who don't know you, and try to act on those things simultaneously. And that is how I live my life.
There's a very beautiful message in that. So I typically, with this podcast, I usually talk about tech stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really good to break away from that a bit and actually
Absolutely.
hear this stuff about perspective, because the online world, cryptocurrency programming can be a very lonely place.
That's right.
And because it's a difficult space and it requires a lot of time and energy and focus.
Yeah.
So I really encourage everyone that listened to this to take this man's advice, because he's really taken it very far in life. And go on your meetup app, go to the local meetup group, talk to people, connect with your coworkers. It'll get you so much farther ahead in life. Joel, is there anything you want to shout out or add to this? Jeff Noel, right?
Yeah. That happens often, believe it or not. Yeah, that happens very often.
So I'm sorry about that. Is there anything you want to end on?
Never forget that your life has purpose, your life has worth, your life has value, and never let anyone tell you that it doesn't.
Thank you. We'll try to live by that. Thank you, Joel. God damn it. No. So that's still